Hey y'all, I am back with another video. So listen, today we are going to talk a little bit about how I started wanting to do YouTube and social media platforms to make money. And I am one of those type of people where I am very private and I don't like to tell a lot of my business. But in this instance, I think it's necessary because once I make it big, I want you guys to be able to understand from where I came to where I'm going. So, I originally, for those of you that don't know, I have worked all of my life. Not all of my life, you know what I mean. Um, I have always had a job. I always had a 8 to 5, 9 to 5 job. And mostly every job that I have had, I have really hated those jobs. Um, I I always tell my children now that I want them to be self employed. I want them to work for themselves because I have been in the workforce and I see how people treat you and I see the favoritism that goes on in the workplace and I see the opportunities that people hold from you because you may be better at a position than they are, or you're just not one of those that just kind of go along with everything that people say and you speak up. So they don't want those type of people in management or upper positions because they want to keep you here. They don't want you to get up here because you may exceed where they want you to be, because they always want to keep you at a certain place in order for you not to get here, even though the potential is there. So I say that to say I've worked for lots of jobs. None of them I can say that I really liked at all. And it was the more the job paid, the the less I liked it. But you stayed on jobs because they did pay a lot of money, even though you didn't like it and you were treated, unfairly, passed up for promotion opportunities because you have to make a living and you're thinking to yourself, where else can you go to make that kind of money? So it got to a point where it was like the job had my hands tied. And I don't know about anybody else if you've ever felt that way, to where you feel like a job has you bound and that you have to put up with the different things that go on there. It's a terrible, terrible feeling, to feel like you're trapped in something that you can't control. So the last job that I had, I worked for the state, and that job, it was okay, but like any job, I think it's always the people that you work for. I think the people make the jobs harder than they have to be, and so it's always the people who run off great employees, not necessarily the job, because the job wasn't hard. I mean, it was busy, but it wasn't a hard job to do. But it's just the people that you work for that make that job so much harder than it has to be. So, some things had transpired, nothing I really want to discuss, but some things had transpired to where they were trying to insinuate that I was not performing as I should. And I had been at this job 9 years almost and never had a issue with performance. And I am one of the type of people that I'm going to give 110% on any job that I'm working. So performance, you won't ever be able to get me on performance. You can say a lot of things about me. Didn't do my job is just never going to be one of them. You can say, oh, She got a bad attitude, or oh, she went off in an email, or oh, she, you know what I'm saying, talked back or something like that. You can say that because that's probably true. But didn't do her job, you ain't gonna be able to get me on that. And so, that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to attack my performance, but they were doing it like sneaky, slick type stuff, behind the back, to where like it's like you're doing something wrong, but they don't let you know you're doing it wrong, and then they wait 3 months to hit you with it, to where it ain't nothing you can do about it. They were doing things like that. So anyway, long story short, I got in my feelings. And really, for me, it was more so the principle of it. The fact that they were trying to make me out to be one thing and I wasn't. So I got in my feelings, and before I knew it, I had resigned. Now, I'm mad at myself for a couple of things. I'm mad about the fact that I allowed them to make me leave my source of income, the way that I take care of my family, and I allowed myself to get so upset to where I thought that by quitting I would be hurting them. You know how you in your head you saying to yourself like, I'm gonna quit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to quit, because they need me. I was one of the best workers they had there. They need me. They don't need you. They need you gone more than they need you there. And when I quit, it was kind of like, oh, yeah, now what? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, yeah, I quit on you. But all they did was turn around and put somebody else in that position that they could get to do everything they told them to do and say everything they needed them to say. And here I was stuck at home looking for another job and trying to figure out, how you gonna pay bills. I don't regret leaving the job. I definitely don't regret leaving the job. That was absolutely the right decision for me, because I knew I was not going to progress there. I knew I wasn't ever going to be promoted. They wanted me in that same position I came 9 years ago, and they wasn't going to let me go nowhere else. So I don't regret leaving the job. What I do regret is that I didn't have enough self-control to work until I found something else. And that's what people say when they say, when you get in your feelings, you don't be thinking straight. And one decision that you make can impact the rest of, what you got going on. It's a domino effect. So here I sit, no job, and I'm saying to myself, okay, I should be okay, because, I'll get my taxes and, got a little bit of money saved. And it ain't going to take me long to get a job, because, like, who wouldn't hire me? Like, they be crazy to pass me up. That's my mindset on any job. I don't care where I'm working at, because I know me and I know how I roll. So I'm like, girl, it ain't gonna be nothing for you to find no jobs. Like, they be stupid not to hire you. Well, guess what? It's some stupid people out there, because they didn't hire me, right? Now, in my defense, I'm not going to say that people are not hiring out there. I'm going to say the jobs that I was applying for was not checking for me. Okay? They weren't checking for me. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm well overqualified. So I'm sitting there like, why these people ain't calling me back? Or I'd have interviews and I'm like, oh, I know I got that job. Like, they'd be crazy not to hire me, honey. It must be some crazy people out there, because, honey, they is not looking for your girl. They're not looking for me. Now, could I have went out there and got a job working retail, Dillard's, Target, somebody? Probably could have. Was I going to? Sure wouldn't. Because I feel like I'm too good to work at them places. Now, that's me. I'm not saying that Target and all them are bad places to work. I'm saying me and my work expertise and what I bring to the table. I'm too good to work at any of those places. And that's not saying that you're not worth nothing if you work there. I'm just saying this is just for me. People have some places that they just not gonna work. When I was growing up and my friends was getting jobs at the fast food restaurants, I was like, I can't work there. I'm too good to work at a fast food restaurant. I can't even see myself taking no orders. So that's just like a standard of my own that I had, and I just wasn't gonna do that. So could I have found a job before now? Yeah, probably could have, but I wouldn't. I had made up in my mind that for the last 9 years I had worked from home, so I wanted to continue to work from home. I made good money, and I wasn't gonna take $13, $15. Wasn't doing that. I was like, I done been there, done that, paid my dues. Even though I'm sitting here, I ain't got no money, broke. You know what I'm saying? I'm hollering about what I will and won't take. Like, girl, if you don't take that damn job. But I didn't. I was like, savings running out. You ain't got no money. You ain't gonna take a job. Like, girl, if you don't get that damn job and get somewhere and sit down. But I didn't. I stayed with it. I kept applying. I wasn't going in nowhere. I was gonna work from home because I enjoy working from home. Plus, I like to be here when my kids get home from school. And so I kept at it. Now, at some point, I was like, I'm gonna apply for food stamps. But then I thought to myself, first I was like, I wasn't gonna apply because I knew I was gonna be back at work. I'm like, by the time they get ready to do that, I've been to find me something else. I'll be back at work. Whatever. And so I didn't apply. And so the Lord worked it out to where the schools that my kids were going to, they ended up they were virtual all year, and they ended up giving SNAP benefits for the children that were virtual all year. And so they had loaded SNAP benefits onto cards that had the kids' names on it and sent them out. So we were using those, which it was like, oh, I didn't even have to sign up for food stamps, even though I probably could have got them because I ain't had no income. But I had, a little money in savings, plus I had, my taxes or whatever, so they might have been like, oh, you got too much money in the bank, whatever. So I just didn't really want to be bothered with it, to be honest. And so I didn't do it, and I had just kept applying. So I finally got a interview, and it was a job that I really wanted, and I said to myself, oh, I got that job. And I was still interviewing for other jobs just in case, I didn't get it. And it was a job that came up, and I didn't even think they were gonna offer it to me over the phone, at the time of the interview, but they did. And I was like, some just said, girl, you better go and take that job, so I did. And it's work at home, everything that I wanted it to be. Pay was slightly lower than what I was making, but not too far off, so it's doable. Plus they give you unlimited overtime. And then of course, like 2 days later, the job that I really wanted, they sent me an email saying that they had selected another candidate. I'm like, these people got to be stupid. So anyway, but in the meantime, between January, because I quit December 31st, between January and now, so many things have changed with my income and my bills. I got behind on some stuff, had to figure out who gonna, pay this, pay that. I was supposed to be to a point where I could pay off my credit cards, and that didn't happen because I left my job, so I had to pay, rent, different stuff like that. So that one decision back in December 2021 changed 7 months. Well, 7 months, you might as well say, because I won't start until July the 1st. 7 months of my life based on me being in my feelings. So don't be like me. Don't get in your feelings. If you hate your job, find something else before you leave your job. Find something else before you leave your job. And that was another reason why I started to do the YouTube and Facebook, because really, to be honest, I know I got this job and I'm thankful and grateful, and I'm gonna work it until God say otherwise. But I am looking to do YouTube and Facebook so I can come off of any 9 to 5, 8 to 5, 10 to 6 job that they could ever offer me. I'm tired of working for other people. I want to be independent. I want to be self-sufficient. I want to be financially free to do me. So, but until God say otherwise, and until it take off, and until I start to make money on YouTube and Facebook, I'm going to have to work me a job. Now, working a job does not mean that you failed. That just means that you got sense enough to know that you got bills to pay, and you got to do what you got to do until something else comes through. So, a lot of times I don't like, for people to know the different things that I go through. I'm a real private person, and my mama tells me this all the time. I keep things inside. You know what I'm saying? And keeping things inside, eventually it spills over and it comes out one way or the other. But I'm really just telling you guys because I want you to be able to look back on this video, whether it's in a month, whether it's in 6 months, whether it's in a year, and I'll be able to say from there to now, I'm here. And I pray that it is in a much better position than I am in right now. I'm thankful and grateful because I know it could be so much worse. And I'm not at all, what's the word? I lost my train of thought. I'm not at all ungrateful for, the position that I'm in right now, even though it ain't the best position, but I know that it could be so much worse. And so, for you guys who feel like, nobody understands and couldn't possibly understand what you go through, I understand being able to, like sometimes I went from, my sons can say, oh, mama, can we go? So, and you kind of, and I try not to burden them with, financial stuff. So I may say something like, no, not right now, or no, not this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm never going to say, boy, we ain't got no money for that. We ain't got no money to go there, because I don't want them to have that burden, of, whatever. But thank God everything worked out. So hopefully here soon. I've already been monetized on Facebook. I was actually monetized within 2 months of starting. I started like February the 6th posting reels, and April the 4th they invited me to the program. Hadn't made any real money on it yet, but I'm gonna keep at it and kind of see where it goes. So you guys be praying for me. I'll be praying for you guys. Comment down below and let me know what you think, or give me some testimonies of how you guys were able to make a bad situation better, or how you came through it. And go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button for me. I want to thank you guys so very much for supporting my channel, and thanks for watching. Bye.